Hey everyone, Rachel Jensen here, broker owner of Luna Realty Belize. We are back to being in the inbox, which is when we answer questions that have been asked by folks like you about the real estate industry here, and even dip into some lifestyle questions. So we're on question number 70 today, and this question is from Nikki. And he said, can I bring my car to the island? And when he says the island, he specifically means Ambergris Caye here. That is what we were talking about. And this is a question that gets asked quite a bit. I know sometimes it's hard to part with vehicles if you are planning to be making that move abroad. Maybe you just bought this brand new Ford Ranger that you absolutely love and you can't imagine life without it and you want to bring it here to the island. Well, I'm not trying to burst your bubble. I do want to say it is going to be challenging. Now, it's not impossible, but it is going to be challenging. And so you have to remember that where we are located on Ambergris Caye, the primary mode of transportation here is a golf cart, right? So you primarily have golf carts, you have bicycles, you will see some privately owned vehicles, but we do tend to get around by golf cart. So if you want to be bringing in something larger than a golf cart, it is going to be a little bit more complicated simply because there's not really the space here. So what I wanted to do though is go through the overview with you, go through what the requirements are, and then what the process looks like, because I don't want to scare you off. I don't want to say it's not at all going to happen, but it will take a little bit of finessing if you want to bring a vehicle like a car. I do want to stop for a second and talk about golf carts. If you are planning to bring a golf cart as well, this is the same process. And I would highly recommend, please do not be bringing any vehicles to the island before you get your permit. That is going to be so incredibly important because if you don't have your permit, well, to be able to have that vehicle, well, then it's not going to be doing you any good to have that vehicle here. I know some of you are looking to bring in a vehicle under the QRP, Qualified Retired Persons Program. Note with the QRP, you are able to import a vehicle duty-free, duty and customs free, but that does not necessarily mean that you'll be getting a permit for it. So you want to go through that permitting process first. You want to do the application first. And then once you get approval for it, you have 3 months to get a vehicle. So at that point is when you would be coordinating the transfer. Now, let's say you are so set on getting this vehicle and the car that you're bringing in. Do also remember on the island here, the mechanics that you'll find are primarily trained to be fixing golf carts. Even when Polarises started coming to the island, it took a little bit of time for mechanics to get the proper training for Polarises. But because that primary mode of transportation are club carts and golf carts, you'll find it's a lot easier to find parts for golf carts. So if you are looking for something if you are looking to bring in a vehicle that is outside of the norm here, understand that number one, there may not be a mechanic to fix it if and when likely it does need to be fixed. And two, there will likely not be the parts here in the country if we don't have that dealership here. So you'll have to import the part. And I can tell you, we're going through this right now. My partner is rebuilding a Suzuki Samurai that he got a permit for. So he's been working on trying to get all of that done, the rebuilding part done before bringing it to the island. But even here in Belize, finding parts for the Suzuki has been very, very challenging. So he's been going to Mexico, Guatemala. When friends are coming down from the States, they're bringing parts and pieces for him. So it'll take him that 3 months to get the vehicle over here because it's taking that much time to rebuild it. But note that it's a scavenger hunt. And luckily that's not his primary mode of transportation right now. So he's still able to get around. But if you're bringing this vehicle, it is going to be your primary mode of transportation. You may have to wait 2, 3, 4 weeks in order to get the parts in. So, and then you'll have to pay customs and duties on that. So again, these are just things to consider, to be reconsidering if you really do want to bring that vehicle to the island. But with that being said, let's just go through this quick application form. This is all found on the San Pedro Town Council Traffic Department website. I'll put the link in the description below so that you're able to go through it. I'm not going to read each of these one by one. I know that you can all read over there, so I'll just leave this up here for a minute and then put the link in the description below so that you're able to go through it. But first and foremost, there's going to be an application form, then you'll pay a fee, and then you'll be notified about the application. Typically, I found it takes about 1 to 2 months for them to get back to you once you submit your application. They're not approving or denying right away as each application is coming in. There's typically a monthly meeting. And at that monthly meeting, they'll be reviewing your application to see if there is a reason for you to be bringing a car. I mean, just I put the picture of, I guess it's a Corvette. I honestly don't know my cars, but on the right-hand side over there, just as a joke, because we did have some folks who are like, we're going to bring our BMW racers, or we're going to bring this and that. And if you've been to the island before, like, you're probably laughing a little bit because you see how low this car is, but there's speed bumps and potholes and everything. So if you are trying to bring a car in, do make sure that it is going to be durable enough to withstand the elements here. But what I also wanted to do is go to the San Pedro Town Council traffic department site so that you're able to see what some of the requirements are. So these are the requirements that you're going to be required to upload on this application here. So the application is below. You'll need to have a valid Belize driver's license with your social security card, your Belize social security card. If you don't have a Belize social, that'll be your passport. If you don't have your Belize driver's license, typically it is okay if you have your out of country one. However, I will tell you, once you're a resident, getting things done here are a lot easier than if you don't have any sort of status in this country. But with that being said, if you don't have your status yet, you can use your non Belize driver's license. You'll also need to have a certificate of title or customs declaration that the duty has been paid. This is kind of a catch-22 because you don't really want to be bringing a vehicle if you don't have a permit yet. So this one, you can have them send a copy of the title that you're looking to purchase. If it's, or you're looking to be bringing in, and I'm guessing you'd have that with you if you are planning to bring yours in. And if you are getting it under the QRP, then you're not going to be paying duty. But I would say, even before that, just submit it before you're importing it into the country if you're not coming in under QRP. In addition to that, you need to show ownership of land property. If you own land here, it makes it 1,000 times more easier. Then they'll be able to go through your application and say, all right, there's a reason that they need it because they live here, they have land here. You'll need to supply a copy of your residency card and your QRP if you're under the QRP. In addition to that, you need to provide proof of your parking space. So you'll need to show pictures of that and picture of vehicle purchase or the one that you're in the process of purchasing or bringing in. In addition, you need to add a cover letter why you're wanting the vehicle. This is pretty important because, let's say you live 10 miles north and a standard golf cart isn't going to do it. You will likely want a vehicle or something a little bit bigger. So you're going to make sure that you are really pushing why you should have a vehicle. If you don't own property, then you could do a landlord letter. And then if you're looking to do this for your business, then you have to provide some additional corporate documents. And then just do note that there is a fee of $100 for the application and administration, so totaling 100 Belize dollars. If you are applying under your business, you have to have a zero balance on your trade license or your liquor license. And then for your property where you're going to be parking the vehicle, you need to have a zero balance on your property tax. So if you haven't paid property tax, then you do need to make sure that you do that before the permit is issued. Now, I'm not going to go through all of this, but you're able to go through it. I'll again put that link in the description, but you can see that there is going to be some work from your end in order to get everything up there, and totaling $100 Belize is the cost of that application. So I would say it's not unlikely at first time that maybe your application is denied if you're looking to import a vehicle, but don't let that deter you. Spend a little bit of time getting to know people. And that's really the best that you can do here on the island. But I would say the smarter thing to do than bringing an actual vehicle from the United States or from your home country would be looking at, if you need something a little bit bigger, a little bit more durable, to look at a Polaris or a Mule or something that's already here on the island that you can be purchasing. That may be just a little bit easier for you down the line. Now, never guaranteeing that you'll get a permit, but there is that process that you do want to be following in order to make sure that you're doing it properly. So again, I'll put this link in the description so you're able to go through it. And then if you're thinking about relocating here, perhaps buying a business in Belize, reach out to us. We have great resource guides for you to learn about what you need to know in order to make a right decision, a smart decision when it comes to buying a business. We also have tons of other resources on our website. I'll put that link in the description below as well, so you can go to our resource page, and then you can request and download any of the resources there that you find interesting. Again, my name is Rachel Jensen. I look forward to hearing from you and hopefully seeing you down here in paradise. Bye, everyone.